All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 5 of what is this now? So
it's episode 6.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to episode 6 of the Outcast Havens podcast. Tonight, we're going to be going over, I think, a couple different things, but primarily going to hit on our thoughts on the print run and how they're handling the alpha versus the unlimited. And then we'll talk a little bit about what we're most excited for tomorrow, or it'll be today at time of release for
yesterday.
Our live stream tonight or whenever. Wow, we're excited for Friday and being able to crack our boxes finally after seeing people across the world be able to dig into those and getting all jealous and stuff. So yeah, we'll go over the detailed plans when we plan on going live tomorrow and what we're gonna sort of present. So that'll be good. So starting it off, guys, this alpha print run announcement that set the world afire. What are our thoughts? So, okay, just because I know we've got some different perspectives, right? And we've got thoughts that might contradict each other, what have you. I'm going to give everyone 60 seconds. All right. Everyone's going to have 60 seconds, straight up presidential debate style in the spirit of the upcoming election, because we all know how political we like to be. And I'm going to straight up cut you off if you start rambling. I actually kind of hope you guys do, because I just want to be like, time. Excuse me, Jason, you're at time. Yeah, we'll take it from there. So I think, Mark, if you're ready, I'm going to give you first floor, just because I know it's going to piss Jason off.
The least contradiction, Mark.
Me and Jason agree, though. Yeah.
You've got your 60 seconds. Say what you want.
All right. I guess to me, I think it's great. I think it's a great idea. I'm a big fan, frankly. I think it does suck currently. Kind of like we discussed in the chat, they don't have the unlimited boxes ready to roll. It's a bit of a downer. I think that's partly just because of the announcement, because everyone bought them out. There would be more product, but since everyone bought it out, there isn't. But I think the fact that they're so behind the idea of keeping value in those original cards and supporting the people who got into it right away, just intentionally, I think it's really cool. I mean, I think it stinks a little bit
30 seconds
right now, but the way I thought about it too is that, especially right now because of Corona, like if you have a local group of guys who you're gonna play with anyway, hopefully, kind of like we do, we have a couple who are maybes. If they want to jump in, we have enough spare cards they could come play. You know, they can't buy boxes. It does suck till November.
10 seconds.
But until then, they got cards they can play, and they should be like, heck yeah, if I get some big cards, they're going to hold their value. This game's sweet. That's my thoughts.
All right, thank you, Mark. That was Mark Muskie Marco, everybody. Moving on, everyone has your thoughts about him. We're going to have a period after everyone said their piece to rebut each other. So, Blake, make Jason wait till last. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think I don't have any issue. Like, honestly, I know like we've talked in the chat a bunch about it. I don't have any issue with the existence of an alpha run. Like that doesn't bother me at all. I think cards holding value is important. We play, the other game we play primarily is Dragon Ball Super, and that game, the market for that game is awesome. And I think every game that lasts for a long time has a good market. It has a really good singles market. Alpha run obviously offers some incentive to first-time players, the beginners, the people who bought in from the beginning. My literal only issue with the alpha run is the announcement of it before unlimited was available. That's it. That's the only thing that I would complain about, is if they knew the schedule of it, I wish they would have just waited for the announcement of the importance and the priority of alpha run being so valuable until they had people would have access to the cards. That's it. That's my only complaint, is access to cards now.
All right. Well, thank you for your perspective, Blake. Jason, any thoughts?
My fellow Fabbers, I am not a crook. I repeat, I am not a crook. That being said, Wraith was released on October 11th, 2019. We've had 11 months to get all the Welcome to Wraith you want. Most companies would not even release this again. It's over. It's been printed. It's done. It's been out for 11 months. 2 days ago, anybody in the world could have bought as many packs or boxes of Welcome to Wraith as they want. They gave us a secondary market. At the same time, they ensured to the distributors and to the retailers, all the product was sold because they said, hey, we're going to make a special second run, which makes this first run an alpha run, which gives it that collector value. So they come up with the unlimited. Yeah, we're in a state of Corona. We're not playing live. Nobody needs the cards for this 2 months.
30 seconds.
So to me, I think it's genius from a marketing perspective. They had Rudy come on, get tons of viewers, tons of new players. Hopefully new people are coming to the game because now there's a true huge collectability to this game. And it inflated it by saying unlimited. It comes, how much time? I didn't hear you, Dane. I
and
think
that's
it's great.
time. All right.
No,
well,
I am not done.
We're going to go into my perspective. So so Jason raised a good point. 2000. So, all right. No, my perspective. All right. I think that they gave us a lot of time to buy into this set. But one of the things that I don't like is how they made this announcement for the Unlimited run was available. And I feel a bit like we're reaching not the crescendo, but we're reaching that point where it's about to like tip over and people are really going to start entering the game here in like the next month or two. Just because it's, you see the Facebook group growing, you see just momentum in general building with the game. And I feel like it was just mistimed, not a huge mistake or anything like that, but just it could have probably been timed a little better where they start emphasizing the alpha run. I feel like they emphasized it too soon. And that was kind of the big faux, not even a big faux pas, but the issue if there were to be an issue with this. So going back around, does anyone have any rebuttal to anything anyone said? I do, but I'll save it for last.
I think the only reason that not having access to the Welcome to Wraith product is the issue that Crucible is a supplemental set. If Crucible was a standalone set and you had access to other things, I think it would be 100% fine. The problem is you put players, and again, this may be only an issue for maybe the players in the States where it's harder to get access to cards. And granted, there aren't locals, so if you're playing on TTS or something, you don't need them. But personally, I'm a person who likes to have access to the cards just because I don't like to play with stuff I don't own. Like if I have it, I want to play with it. If I don't have it, I don't want to play with it because I want to get it before I have a physical opportunity to play with it. And I think it being more difficult now to get some of the cards just because somebody who's a collector obviously is going to care about it. Personally, I'm a player. I'm not a collector. Like I'm the opposite of a collector. When a card gets raised in value, if I'm not using it, it's getting sold. Like it's getting sold so fast. Like I have no emotional attachment. For me, it's a money game. Like if I can sell a card to make money to play more cards,
time limit on the rebuttal too.
We're good to go.
Yeah,
so,
Dane, I'd like to step in on here. I would like to.
Jason, step in here.
I would like to rebuttal.
Rambles on.
So here's my main point of all of this. This is my main thing where I don't have an issue of it. If they came out yesterday and said we are reprinting Welcome to Wraith, period. If that's what they said, how many boxes of Welcome to Wraith would still be available on every market shelf across the country?
Yep.
Plenty.
Yep.
Yeah.
They started a hype train. It was ingenious marketing. And we all became more wealthy because of it, because all of us have bought 2 to 3 Welcome to Wraith boxes. If you haven't purchased them, I'm sorry, you're not on the wealth train. The rest of us are.
All right, I'm going to jump in right there because I have an immediately rebuttal. So, all right, I get that perspective. That's awesome. We've been in the game for a little longer, but we're growing the community. I think that I have a point and I have a counterpoint to that point. So,
you're truly conflicted.
No, I'm not. I know where I stand. I just stand on both sides of the fence. I'm a grass is greener on my side of the fence kind of guy. So
you're getting crotched by the fence. We understand.
Yeah, no, it's a short fence. So, so I agree that marketing, it was great. Like it makes a lot of sense to move a lot of their product. I think that it was, if anything, mistimed because we're growing a community over here right now, and not having product available for people that want to get into this game as it grows hinders. But my rebuttal to that point is as a company going through COVID right now, that I think above all, I want them to survive. That is like priority A, right? Because if they don't interrupt me, Jason. I swear.
It's not a rebuttal. It's just a question. It's a question.
No, I'm not done saying anything. Not done talking. So,
it's not a rebuttal though.
So them surviving, just period. So we have a game at all to play in 6 months, I think is the most important thing. And if them making this announcement and selling a ton of their product is what gets them there, then I'm okay with it. But I think that and I don't know from their perspective how else it could have been handled if waiting, like they just needed a little influx or whatever it may be, if they needed an influx of cash, if they needed to move a bunch of product, if they needed to build a little more hype for it. I think that this happening hinders new players getting into the game. It's probably going to slow down the growth that could have existed with new players buying, a $70 box and getting into the game. Like there's been people on the page that have been like messaging me personally that are like, hey, what would you buy? What would you get? And I am kind of like, reach out to these people. Like we've got our product code. By the way, Top Deck TCG, we still have an offer code for 10% off your entire order. It's going to be Outcast Haven, all lowercase. I think you can capitalize the O and the H in Outcasts Haven with an S in there. But I kind of feel bad telling them, like, don't spend too much, but also you might not get a ton of product as these new players are showing interest. So
my only question,
but
yeah, I just
want Legend Story Studios to survive. That's my thing.
Right. So my only question would be, when MTG came out, when any of these card games come out, their first set runs that they do, how much did they print? And this is just, I don't know the answer to these questions. I'm just wondering, how many did they print? How many did they sell? Did they have left over? I think 11 months to have a first print run is plenty of time. But human nature took over when they said alpha, and everybody immediately went to buy it on the gamble, which I understand. But
also not everyone that was going to be in the game was in the game for those 11 months.
Like, and are the starter sets sold out, or can you still get a starter set of Ninja or whatever?
You can still buy
probably
starters.
still available,
and you can play the game as a new player with the starter sets alone and do just fine.
Yeah, I think it always feels bad when you can't get access to product. I mean, we played a game that historically had issues with short prints and things like that. I don't think this is that at all.
No,
I think Legend Story Studios, I think maybe what they did more than anything, because I don't know that they necessarily are going to make any more money because stores sell out of boxes. You know what I mean? Like that,
probably not.
They like their money is already made from set one because the product is already purchased. It's gone. So like
to clarify, I wasn't talking about them making money on this product, but I'm saying if stores sell out of boxes, guess who's going to buy a crap ton more Crucible?
Yeah, they're going to pre-order the next set.
I guess that's more what I was going to clarify. I think one of the things that I think smart game companies do right now is help the LGS, because if anyone is suffering, it's not necessarily the companies, because I think people are still playing. Players are still playing the games, because even if you don't have locals, you still have friends to play with. You're still buying because when everything opens back up, you don't want to be behind then. You don't want to be forced to buy 3 sets worth of stuff because you didn't buy anything for 6 months. So people are keeping up with their purchasing. The problem is they may not be purchasing as high of a rate. And some of these LGSs are probably not seeing the influx of cash that they did from some of these collectible games. So we're seeing other games do the same thing that we play, where they're trying to do things out of their normal business practices to push people to purchase from a local game store, which I think is good. I think that has a good relationship then. So their relationship with, the LGS is strong, which means that those stores will continue to stock their product because they are concerned about those stores, because at the end of the day, that's what they need to survive in order to keep their games going.
Yeah, it's a domino effect, right? Like if you are in this situation as a company and you know that the chief people that you're going to make your money off of selling your product to are at risk for going out of business, then in that light, I think this is a really smart move, because if a bunch of people find out alpha run, and they all go out and just purchase a ton of the product from these LGSs that have their stuff posted online, I think that move, helping the local game store like that, is smart then from that perspective as well. Mark, really curious about your thoughts on all this.
So what I was going to bring up is Jason's favorite word for the podcast. I decided to not stray from, which is destiny. When they, as an example, which is kind of a good example, their first set, I didn't play it back then, but apparently they ran out of product. People of the game, they ran out. People couldn't get it. And
that was like immediately within like 1 month though.
But it apparently, it hurt a lot of people. So my only thought was, if that wouldn't have happened, / if any of that product would have been alpha, they didn't give a crap about any of that. Would that have made it different? Maybe. I don't know. But now, to this day, at our local game stores, you see that set Awakenings for like a quarter the price sitting there on the floor. No one wants to buy it. So I don't really know. But if that was alpha product, right, but obviously it's... So I don't really know. I think, again, I think it's just generally a decent thing. It's not, it kind of sucks, but again, if you really need cards, I think you can get the cards to play, especially if you have people you're going to play with anyway. They're going to have extra cards. I mean, it's going to be, you can't get boxes. But
I think, and to be completely fair, I think my perspective comes completely from the fact that like I'm a player first mentality because I'm a player. Yeah. I'm not one of those people who,
I hate the player, hate the game.
It's true. It's completely beyond me. Like when I see people getting like cards graded and I see people like keeping sealed boxes, I'm like, I did not get the genetic makeup to do those things. Like to me, if there's product, like it's going to go home, it's going to sit on my table and I'm going to open it because I want to put those cards in decks and I want to play them. Like there's zero part of me that has any desire.
I think that's how we all are.
To get value out of it long term. I love to make money off of products. I love to break even. I love to make money when I like buy stuff because I like profit off of the market.
But also so you can buy more product.
But only because I can buy more product. It justifies to my wife that it's valuable to buy more boxes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's my big take on it too, is like after having started with Destiny, is coming into it. We bought a box where like the box had been out for a while. We're like, let's buy a box, me and a couple friends. We get all this stuff and we're like, yay, we got a bunch of cards, but none of it was really worth much anymore. And it was fine. We kind of needed it anyway. But having done that, coming to this game, if I saw the potential then for what those cards could be worth, or the fact that, exactly, I'm a big fan of, you play a couple classes, you can pretty much pay for your habit because you sell the other classes stuff. I mean, that's great. From that game, back in the day, there was never any cards that were worth enough to fully justify that you could say. It would help.
Mark, I would like to welcome you with that attitude. I would like to welcome you to what I like to call the hustle.
Right. We've all been grinding DVS sales on auction sites and stuff.
Mark, after talking to him yesterday, he grinds every type of sale beyond card games. His hustle is like insane.
That's true.
Man.
I remember
he buys and sells canoes for money.
No, don't tell anybody that. That's
nobody will know, Mark. We'll keep it between us.
Dude, I've had a couple people that I've sold like either I think it was Destiny stuff when I was selling out of the game after like it got canceled, and they're like, "Oh, I bought from another guy up in Minnesota too," and I was like, "Is it Mark?" He's like, "Oh, I think so," because it was like play mats and stuff, and you bought my play mats from me because I didn't want to ship them.
I still got yours though. I got two.
Oh, do you? Oh, that's funny.
No one. I got one for sure. I'm keeping, but no one wants the stuff anymore once the game's dead.
Apparently, that kills it a little bit.
That apparently hurts sales. So that is a problem.
All right. Yeah, my last thought on this is coming from someone who does not hoard and likes to declutter. I am not throwing away any bulk. I am creating packages that I can literally hand to people that I've got my stuff set aside. You guys got all the stuff that you need from me. I'm creating extras, like play sets of stuff so I can give to people. I think that the thing that is going to help this community overall is if community members try to go out of their way a little bit to be a little more altruistic to like help the people that are interested, like just whether it's time explaining, whether it's, hey, I got my play sets, here's an extra third of what you need to play Ninja. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that's going to help out a lot. And I think that this community is super strong and healthy, and I've seen a lot of really good things out of it. And I think that this is just an opportunity to kind of let that light shine. Don't you hide it under a bushel basket, guys. Yeah. All right. So moving on to the next topic here. So topic 2, what's everyone excited for tomorrow/today or yesterday?
/yesterday for the Aussies and Kiwis.
What's everyone excited for to see when they crack their boxes tomorrow?
A full art foil.
Would
everybody
that
wants
be?
that.
Yeah.
So what's the word on that? Like, how many of those are there? Did they say?
I heard I'm getting one in my box.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I
of course.
don't know. I don't know what the pull rates are on them. I sent you guys the picture earlier. I didn't look at it real close. I know they opened a case, and I think they got 1 or 2 in a case. I mean, I don't think they're super common.
One of the case
I don't-
pictures had one in it. So
I meant
don't
like
know if
how
you
many
got one
total
in each.
cards are available in it though? Is
I
that
don't
a
know.
known-
That's I don't
That's not
know if
known
they've
either.
actually revealed any of that stuff. Which
That's
is
the only full art foil I've seen. It was
Does that one look pretty-
twinning
pretty
blade.
baller?
Twinning Blade. Yeah.
It's a majestic.
I've tried not to look today because I want to be a little bit surprised.
I've stared at everything. Honestly, I don't think I've seen
Mm.
anything that I wasn't aware of. Dude, that legendary character though, that hero. Oh,
I will tell you the card that I am excited for. And it's a very so I was really, really big on Bravo Guardian stuff.
Mhm.
But after we did our TTS and I kind of figured out Wizard, that I really, really, really enjoyed that game style. And partly because of the name and partly because of what the card does, Aetherize. I mean, it just sounds amazing. Aetherize, and it just negates whatever you want to do.
The instant negate 1 cost or less, right?
Yep. And it's a
Yep.
3 pitch. So it's if you get it too early, you can still use it to pop your instance off. I mean, super pumped for that. It's an auto 2 and blitz 3. I mean, it's a no-brainer add card, and I'm very, very excited for that and to run some games with my Wizard against you guys.
Yeah, Blake, Mark, if you guys weren't aware, Jason figured out how to play Wizard. That was really fun
heard
and
that.
unexpected.
Yeah,
so he crushed my soul a little bit, and I was totally not expecting that going into it. I was like, I'll play some Viscerai Blitz. It'll be fun. I'll crush him at the end. It'll be good. And then he's just like, oh, by the way, I now play Wizard somewhat correctly, and just destroyed me.
Well,
So-
the one turn I had between pitched cards and played cards, I got up to 8. So that means
Yeah.
that the deck was starting to do what it's supposed to do.
I think it was the player that sort of started doing what it was supposed to do. But
Finally,
it could be the
yeah.
deck too. It could be the
Yeah.
deck for sure. You've got a really nice dick, Jason.
Thank you.
I don't know if I should mock them.
No, we're not going to mock. We just
not
love
mocking.
the way
We love
that they say dick
It's
because
a-
my Wizard dick is amazing. So I just want to leave it there.
I think a little playful banter is good, you know?
Yeah.
It'll be good.
I'm not going to try any other accents because as we've learned in person,
It
I
just
will
turns
suddenly
into-
do a Russian or
Just
an
Russian.
Aussie. Yeah,
Jason-
I'm
Jason
all
is
over the
just-
place.
Jason's Paul Rudd from I Love You Man. Like no matter how many
Straight
times
up,
he tries, it, just
100%.
goes, slap in the bus and now. It's
Slap
like, you're
in the
some fucking
bus.
cab driver. What are you doing, Jason?
Jason, you're Irish right now. You're not even close.
Not
You're
even
in the right
same
hemisphere.
I was really, really impressed with your dick, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Dick.
Anyways, let's talk about your dick for days.
Yeah.
All right. What
I
else
did
were we
learn
gonna
it's the way you use your dick. It's not.
Oh, boy.
It's a,
Mark, what are you excited to see?
So I was just looking through to kind of remind myself here. I would say I normally played Brute, but
Mhm.
I'm honestly my second. I kind of, Jason kind of took it over a little bit. I kind of liked Ranger, the idea. I kind of was almost a little more excited for a couple of those. I like the Remorseless Poison the Tips. I thought it's pretty cool. Just to really
Yeah.
kind of mess with their turn with Remorseless taking their health. Poison the Tips. It seems like taking cards obviously is always good. You can potentially completely shut down their chance at a turn.
Mhm.
So I think a couple of or even Feign Death
Feign Death is amazing.
is pretty sweet. I mean,
Dude, Feign
especially
Death.
depending who you're against. I mean, you could block obviously unlimited damage on
The
that second
only,
hit,
yeah,
so-
the only
yeah.
matchup I think you maybe pull it out of would be Bravo, because or maybe Rhinar, but even Rhinar now it might be swinging a couple times at you. But yeah,
I'm also, I mean, I'm curious to try out, KO. It looks fun. It's kind of that whole dice thing. I mean, if he hits at 5 or
Yeah.
6, that's crazy. But
you
I don't know.
saying
Gotta,
that
gotta find some good dice for it. I don't know.
you saying
Yeah.
that just made me realize that KO is his name, like the knockout, like KO.
Their playful names are fun. Like I
Yeah,
think that's
I
one
do
of the
like
things I
it.
like because I enjoy when a game isn't too serious about themselves.
Yeah.
One of the most heartbreaking things in the world was that, and I'm just, this is for Mark. One of the most heartbreaking things about Destiny when it did, was that I've never been able to actually play the card called Utini, which makes me so sad because I love when a game has a sense of humor about itself. Like I love the playful title of the Swing Fist Think Later.
Yep.
With Brute, like where it's like, oh, I get it, I like it. It's a fun play on words. And
Yeah.
I was even going to bring up that one too, or a couple others. Just a couple more Brute cards with the whole go again. I mean, same with the Mandible Claw. I don't know. I mean, you get that whole go again, but a lot of them have you pitching cards to get that 6 or higher. So how many cards do you have left to keep going? I mean, it'll be interesting to try to figure it out.
I'm going to tell you this, Mark. I grant you Azalea in the Ranger class because I'm full on the Wizard train.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm a huge Ranger archery.
I did what?
Fan of games. So
yeah, look at dude. He's literally got the Death Dealer hanging behind him.
I do the
set it up.
Yeah.
Do you see the redliner hanging on his wall?
Oh, you weren't here last week. All right, quick thoughts, Mark. Redliner versus Death Dealer. Have you looked at both of them? Kind of.
Yeah. So the basic difference is the card draw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I think it's tough to say. I guess I'm curious to just try that Redliner out, just because I felt like a lot of times the big thing would be I had one more go again to play an arrow, but I can't play the arrow because I have to pay for that arrow still, something like that. So I think it's for sure worth trying.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. For sure.
I thought his I don't know hot take was amazing at first, but you pulled it full circle. Good job.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I don't know.
At least one of us can admit when they legitimately don't know. The rest of us just talk out of our ass until something good comes out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like I'll have to play it like 10 times and I'll tell you. But I mean, I think it's...
Isn't that called an epiphany when you do that? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there.
You just talk until you're right.
All right. Anyone else have any thoughts on what they're looking forward to?
I'm excited. I really, so the more I've been playing, the more I enjoy Dorinthia and Warrior. Mm-hmm. And it's a deck I really enjoy the play style of, and I'm really excited for. Is it pronounced Kasai? Does anybody know? Kasai?
Yeah, Kasai.
Kasai. I
said that confidently. I have no idea, but it's Kasai.
If you said it confidently, so I'm gonna believe you. I'm super excited for that. I love the idea of the dual wielding. I love the idea of the second one costing one less, and I absolutely am in love with the idea of that with hit and run, because if you play hit and run for free, then you get to give your next weapon attack go again. So like you can either give your weapon go again, or if you've attacked with a weapon, you get to give it +3. So it's like a flexible card. It gives it more options. But when you're dual wielding, it allows for a lot of opportunity in the deck to do a lot of things, because you're swinging 2 sabers and the first one costs 1 and the second one is free. And then if people defend with it, you just get to gain 1 until the end of the turn, which is super cool because it just buffs the sword and makes that 2 a 3, which is effectively what Dawnblade is, which is super cool. So yep. I'm excited for that because I enjoy Warrior. So having another way to play that in Blitz other than Dorinthia, because Dorinthia is good in Blitz, but I think sometimes like she's really good late game as she like kind of bleeds away your hand. And sometimes in Blitz somebody can get on top of you if you don't get there first. If you don't get the right draw, sometimes you can kind of get behind. And then you kind of just have to dig out of a hole. Whereas with Kasai, you'll be able to just have those sabers just go into town.
Yeah. So talking about one of our other games, DBS, when it first started, it was very simple mechanics. So there was a very clear path to how you paced out, like the combo step, how you used cards and comboing. We're not gonna dwell on that since no one's gonna know what we're talking about unless you also play that game. But like this game, very simple general mechanic would be kind of the putting your opponent on its back heel. If you get ahead of them and you force them to start dropping their hand when you swing, they don't have as much to swing back at you with, so you don't have to drop as much hand, so you've got more to swing at them with. And it's kind of like that balance of when do I take a bunch of damage to allow myself to sort of take that step forward then. And I feel like that very clear back and forth, who's on the heel, who's on the offensive, is starting to get plateaued out a little bit, where now it's a little easier to still threat and protect and it's becoming more of an even back and forth. It's not as blatantly obvious. So I think that's a good point.
I think you can build in. I think what's fun about this is the opportunity to potentially build in some more mechanics. Like once the game becomes a little more, now that they're adding some complexity and some depth and some more layers to the deck building, I think there are some things where Kasai is built with this idea of if you hit with the sabers, or if you swing with if you attack with the sabers, you have the opportunity to do the copper, which we haven't seen how deep in the copper and the gold and silver will possibly go in the future. But at least with her, if you've attacked with multiple weapons, you get copper, and then you can do the cash in card where you can draw 2 cards. So I'm thinking about the potential of her in a blitz format where you get a couple of turns where you're swing with those with her sabers, you make some copper, and next thing you know, you draw 2 cards, you play a turn with a card in arsenal and 6 cards in hand, and it's like that. I mean, that's a blowout if you build the deck right. So it's like I'm looking at it in a way of like, how do I maximize that? But then somebody else might say, you know what, the copper thing it's a shtick. I don't want to play that shtick. I'm going to go another route. And that's what I think is fun, is that now we're starting to see the layers of deck building potentially come to the front, where somebody building a deck a very specific way and just playing it clean can get them wins, even if it's not viewed as the most optimal way to play the deck.
Yeah, you brought up a good point the other day where you were talking about how you were starting to play Dorinthia, and you were saying how you loved that there's cards that make your deck better, but there's not cards that make your deck a winning deck.
Yeah.
Like, which I thought that was like, yeah, that's a great way to sum it up very succinctly. Like, there's cards that definitely create efficiency in your deck, but by no means do you need those cards to win. 100% they help, but
yeah. This game doesn't feel like it has like silver bullet cards, which I think, you know, you're always concerned about that in the design space. Like, do we ever get to a point where there's a silver bullet card? It doesn't feel like there's one in the game right now. I feel like there are obviously combos that can be disgusting, but certain decks rely on combos and certain decks rely on efficiency and stacking cards and things. And I think that's what's cool, is you see the different play styles, you play into them differently, but there's no way for me to just put a card in my deck that just absolutely counters Bravo.
Right.
It's just, I have to know how to play into Bravo, and the Bravo player has to know how to play into Dorinthia.
I also wanted to hit with the copper, the merchant.
Yeah.
Do we have we known how to deck build around him?
I think it's just it. So he doesn't have any cards, so I think it has to just be a generic deck,
which would be interesting. And then the other card I want to mention, and I apologize for this, but the art of we'll call her Shyana, the shapeshifter.
Yeah, dude, Emma Frost.
That's a good looking shapeshifter. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now.
Please don't shift your shape. Yeah, no, it's just like a really pretty artwork, and I don't love that it's a legendary. I've never been a fan of like making certain decks altogether limited, but I feel like because it's unique, a lot of people are gonna want to play it. But the moment that someone sees how it plays or gets their hands on it somehow, I think they'll be like, yeah, this is weird. I don't know if I like this.
I also think they did a good job with the design space of it, making it a blitz only character.
So that's something I read. It might not be blitz. I don't know that young characters cannot play classic constructed.
They just
I know that
the health.
No. Like you can. I don't know this for sure, but from what I was reading online, people were saying that you have to be a young hero to be a blitz hero. Nothing says that you need to be an adult hero to be a classic constructed hero.
Right. Which is fine. But you're just going to play 20 health, because technically your health starting the game is on the bottom right corner. You don't get to change it.
No, I'm not saying that you do. I'm saying you can start with 20 health if you want.
I mean,
as a wizard, as a new to the wizard player, you know, I'm starting out with low health every time. You don't see me complaining about it.
Like KO with 19 health.
Start with 20.
We only saw you complaining about it for about a month.
Also, to be fair, if you guys, if people want to roll up to a classic constructed and going into a Bravo deck with a 20 health character, I think the Bravo characters are
not saying that's going to be a thing. I was just clarifying
Hey,
that
I'm
it's
just saying
not
too.
exclusively a blitz hero, from my understanding.
Jason, as a Bravo player, would you complain if you started seeing a bunch of 20 health characters running around
with the new cards? It would be legitimately possible. And we were doing the metrics. Dane was on this new character, but with Bravo, there's a 35% chance of having crippling crush by turn 2. So you just take all their damage, and you could almost just beat them turn 2 with dominate.
Just
like
one shot.
Yep, you're dead.
I think that there's lots to be looking forward to. Mark, did you already say what you were kind of excited for coming out of this set? I can't remember if I asked you first or what.
Yeah, I'd say the only other thing was the traps kind of seemed interesting too. Again, I don't know if they're too niche or not. I thought the pitfall interesting. I don't know. We'll have to try it out, I think, to kind of see. But it's an interesting mechanic. I like kind of the, different things that they're adding that kind of fit in with the class and stuff. So.
Yep. So I think I want Benji really bad. I would love to get a foil Benji.
The dog.
That's such. I think that's really.
That's
cool.
what I think of too.
The dog.
Every time
I know. Playful names, playful dogs. So I really want to play that hero. I think that it's really good. I'm really curious to find out how they rule, or if they reverse the ruling that if a card references a stat, then it's referencing the printed stat, because now cards say base value. Some cards will have, they'll reference the base value of a card, or they'll just reference the value. So both of those are now printed in this new set. So I'm wondering if they're going to retroactively say cards that don't reference base value reference the modified value. So if that's the case, then, and they may have already announced this too, because I think I've seen people playing Benji with the Zephyr Needles, where the second or the Zephyr Needle attack is a 3 and they're not destroying it after being blocked by a 2 or being blocked by a 3. So find out about that. Either way, I'm excited. I think I talked on the Zephyr Needles enough last time where I am excited regardless if that's the ruling or not, because I think they're still going to be really useful and dynamic in play. And then Shyana, I really hope one of us pulls her, because I am so excited at the deck building opportunities. I am a little bummed, but totally understand that she can only transform into the hero that you're playing against. Makes sense, because otherwise that'd be really broken because of a couple. Before we realized that, we were going through just all of the specialization cards and realizing what could be broken, and just the consistency of a turn 2 crippling crush using the Viscerai specialization, become the Arknight, being able to hunt the Showtime, and then being able to use the Showtime to hunt the crippling crush. There's just lots of really fun stuff. And then being able to say, okay, I'm KO this turn, so I'm just going to roll a dice with my Gambler's Gloves and double my crippling crush damage. So I thought there was going to be a lot of fun with that. But even having to transform... Yeah, what's up?
So where did you read that only the player you're playing against?
So it says target hero, and so this is just in the group too. I haven't read anything official. It was in the fan page, but it would make sense to me that it would have to be a hero in the game. If you could just choose any hero, that'd be awesome. I'd be super excited if that's what they came out with. But also, I think that would maybe be... So
she legitimately is not... You couldn't even play her in Blitz format. You could only play her in Ultimate Pit Fighting, because
I don't think so.
You could. How could you make it in Blitz? You have to make a deck beforehand. It's not like constructed where you can.
No, I know, but your specializations.
It'd be very hard.
Your specializations all become the class that you become. So it doesn't it's not that you can only play Arknight specializations or Viscerai specializations if you choose Runeblade, and then you can only choose Runeblade if you play him.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah, so you can play all of the specializations that you put in your deck. I think it's just going to be fun, if that's the case, to know how to play into your opponent's character based on, and I think that's going to be one of the things that is being able to build and know how to play your specializations into that character. Like if I'm going up against a Runeblade, fantastic. Now I get to do that cool combo I just talked about. If I'm not, okay, I'm playing KO. All right, I'm still going for the Crippling Crush play, and I'm just going to become KO on the turn that I want to double my Crippling Crush damage possibly. I feel like there's ways to play into different heroes that could be really unique and fun with her. So
I think, well, and I think if I had to guess, the reason I would say that target hero applies to the character you're playing against is just because there's precedence for the word target in the game. They reference things like target attack gets, and which means you have to see that you're looking at the card on the table it doesn't just reference any attack.
Saying
Otherwise,
target attack doesn't mean you
Yeah.
can pick any attack from the card pool.
yeah, I can't say like target attack gets -2. Well, I choose your Crippling Crush. Well, I'm not playing Crippling Crush.
No,
well,
but
when
it's
you
in your
get
deck.
there, it's -2 eventually. So
Yeah, no, I
It's
think that
target-
was probably that was my thought process behind it too. So made sense to me. Either way, excited for her as well. So
yeah, I think there's gonna be some interesting stuff that comes out of this set. I think the new heroes obviously offer pretty unique takes on the archetype that exists currently with the class, because Dash and Mechanologist versus the Data Doll is interesting because they both have kind of a thing that makes them super efficient, but it's a different thing, which is fun. I think that I'm super interested to see somebody. There's part of me that wants to invest a bunch of time into the merchant, just because I love the idea of taking a character. I have a thing for taking characters that people don't play and archetypes that people don't play and just being like, I'm gonna make this good. And then when other people think good,
You
they think
hate
win a
meta
tournament.
stuff.
And I hate meta stuff. I just hate it so much. I don't know why. It's a problem. But I just want to make the merchant good, just because I want to put that trophy on my, like have you ever seen that? There's a great meme where it's like a guy cracking a bottle of champagne, kissing a girl, biting his metal, and then it zooms out and it's him in the third place, like on the podium. That's me, because I'm 100% okay like falling in third place, but playing the most obscure thing in the world. Like if I could make the merchant a third place deck, I would 100% like pop a bottle of champagne.
Yeah,
because it's just super interesting to me, the idea of making a character that other people look at and they're going, what do you even do with that? It's like challenge accepted.
Yeah, that was so much fun in that Gen Con tourney when I was running Dende Rangers, like Power Rangers. It was like, and I got 16th with it. It was fantastic because like people sat across from it like, what are you playing? Like totally not even a remotely meta deck. Felt good. I get that. I get that piece of you, Blake. Mark, Jason.
Yes.
We'll let you guys go first for this next one. Talking about tomorrow. Are you guys as hyped up as I am? So we have a time. We've got 5:30 Central Daylight Time, not to be confused with Central Standard Time. We are going to be going live. We're going to be sitting around a table cracking a bunch of boxes. What's the first thing you hope you crack? What's your first like foil, shiny, legendary? What do you guys think that you would be most excited to see first back?
I'm going to go huge and say I want to see a Tunic.
Okay. All right. Tunic.
A reprint. How obscure is that? I'd love to see that in the first pack.
That's the thing. That's if you got to choose one card that you just crack first pack, it'd be Tunic.
Tunic.
All right.
I think I'd just love to see any of the. I mean, the one that was spoiled was cool, but I haven't played a ton of Dorinthia. But any of the other like full arts would be sweet and foil. I guess I'd be excited to see what else is possible. So that's what I'd say. Maybe a remorseless, any of those ones I was mentioned, and maybe the brute one. I can't remember the brute one with the eye, the majestic now, but I have to look it up. That would be pretty cool. I don't know what
something.
Beast Within.
That's
what it is. Yeah.
That would be the other cool
bomb.
thing is to crack a card that we haven't seen yet.
I
like
know.
A different full art card.
Yep.
That would. And that's why I'm not going to look at anything else
until tomorrow.
No, because now there's still cards I haven't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
In that, I guess that would be more exciting even than a Tunic, is just to see a card that I haven't seen. Be like, this is awesome.
Or to just have. I think that they did a great job at getting us hyped for the possibilities of what could be in these packs. Yeah. Because I mean, just today we saw the Twinning Blade that is. I was like, what? That's so cool. It's like the weird, like upside down, and it's really good art for the card. Yeah. Twinning Blade, you know what I mean? It looks like a playing card, exactly. Yeah. But like the fact that we just saw that today, that's awesome, because what else are we going to see? Yeah. Maybe I'm going to crack Benji and it's going to be a full art, no border Benji. I don't know. Probably not. But
it's just going to have a dog on it.
Yeah.
Picture.
Okay.
Here we go, Benji.
All right, guys.
It'll be a good dick.
It's going to be so satisfying when he just crushes your guys'
you're going to really love Benji in that new dick you build.
Oh, God.
Throw another shrimp on the Barbie.
That's too far, Mark. Too far.
We don't know a lot about Australia or New Zealand. We really don't.
But we are stereotypical stupid Americans, so whatever.
We are.
Yeah, you can make fun of us. I don't care.
The depth of knowledge that I have about New Zealand and Australia basically goes as far as the Crocodile Dundee movies. Like that.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was filmed there.
Fever one. I know that Lord of the Rings was filmed there.
If it's any consolation, if there are by any chance someone over there listening to this right now, we want to learn, and we're not total dicks all the time.
Yeah.
And we would love to get to know more about what
we're
seems to be like an amazing
Americans.
country.
It's who we are. We're sorry. We apologize.
Yeah. I'd really love to see your dicks.
Whoa. Whoa.
And Dane is impartial to how you take that.
Blake, what are you hoping to crack?
I'm just honestly like I'm always excited. I the last box of Welcome to Wraith I bought, I opened good cards, but I opened basically just all brute stuff, and I don't play brute, so I was a little disappointed because that's the one thing about when you open boxes is like you want to open the stuff that you want to play. So I'm just excited to open honestly any of the Majestics for the Warrior class would be great.
Yep.
And then I'm excited to really anything in the mech stuff too, because I want access to that stuff to be able to play those ones. But other than that, like I mean, everything else is gonna get traded to you guys anyway, I suppose. So and then
Yep. I think I definitely want to open a Benji, like a foil Benji would be great. But I think if I had to choose one card to like for sure get, I would want Shyana, the legendary. Just because I really want to play her. I think it's going to be really fun to deck build around her and see if I can't make it work and learn. Because I feel like she's going to be a character that really rewards knowing your opponent. Actually, no, I rescind that. I think she's going to be a character that really rewards a player that learns how to play his own deck or her own deck. I think that knowing exactly what lines to look for into certain matchups is going to be really, really key. Or I think they captured the shapeshifter thing really well because your deck is literally going to change depending on what you're playing into.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that knowing how to play the
fun.
deck in each iteration of its existence is going to be super fun to learn. So I think that's probably the card I'm most excited to crack open. Yeah. 5:30 live stream. Be there. I'm going to bring beer. I think we're just going to be sitting around chilling.
Yeah, I'm excited. Super pumped everybody over. Get everything set up.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we got for today. Thanks for hanging out, listening to us talk bullshit about our thoughts on the alpha release and what we're excited for pulling. So join us tonight at the time of release of this podcast for our live stream where we're going to be sitting around drinking beer, hanging out. And if by chance you're joining us and cracking your packs and you don't get what you want, be sure to check out Top Deck TCG. They've got an offer code where you can plug in Outcast's Haven with an S in there. Outcast Haven, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. So you can still get the cards that you want after release. So there's always a saving grace, silver lining there if you don't crack what you're hoping for. Regardless, it'll still be fun. We'll still be hanging out, talking, theory crafting, drinking. It'll be a good time. So hope to see you guys there tomorrow. And that's all we got for today.
Make sure that even if you don't like the opinions of the others and just mine, you can still like the channel and to subscribe.
Yeah.
If you want the update, because we can't hit we can't ever figure out, is it today, tomorrow, yesterday, or the day before? You just hit that little bell. It'll ding at you, hit you with the notification whenever we go on. So
it's actually part of our plan. We're actually geniuses, regardless of what prior experience would tell you. We're geniuses that are tricking you into clicking that bell button to get the notifications of when we actually go live. So give us credit. Subscribe. All right, guys. Have a good night. Peace.
Peace.
See ya.
See ya.